first part of the Canto a Capella metal workshop. I'm Stefan from Canto, and here we are in Exojoule Studios. This is the place where we recorded our first album, A Storm to Come, and did the pre-production and some additional recordings for our second album, Hero. Yeah, Canto is an a cappella metal band. What we are doing is we're having a real drummer and 5 singers. And we're trying to imitate metal guitars by voice only and creating complete metal songs just by voice. So, and in this workshop we will show you which parts are important to create a complete metal sound. We'll talk about guitar imitating and bass guitar imitating and solo guitar imitating. And yeah, to start from scratch, the first thing we're doing is we're writing and arranging the song. So what I did for this workshop is I created a very basic, a very true metal drum pattern. And as we are imitating guitars, it's always a good thing to start by thinking what a real guitar player would play to this drum pattern. And that's where we start right here. I'll show you the drum pattern and play some guitar chords. So far so good. Yeah, as I said before, it's a very basic, a very true metal drum pattern. We have this dun 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 part in the beginning and the double bass part following. And when imitating guitars, you have to think of the possibilities that you can create. And of course, you even have to go further, because if we only imitated a sound that sounds exactly like a real guitar, everybody would say, well, why don't you use a real guitar then? So there are some limitations when imitating guitars by voice, but there are also possibilities expanding the sound and making the sound more exciting. Yeah, the first restriction you have to think of is that a guitarist always can play a chord consisting of 3 or 4 notes. And a singer only can sing 1 note at a time. So you have to keep in mind when arranging the song that you do not have as many tones as you would have when arranging it for 2 guitars, for example. The other basic part in metal is the distortion. So if you hear rhythm guitars, they're always distorted by a guitar amplifier or even outboard equipment, distortion and effects. So on the first album, A Storm to Come, we tried to sing very clean voice through guitar amplifiers. In some songs we did it, and it was okay, but we quickly noticed that it's not creating the same power and the same punch as a distorted guitar. If you sing like a la 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 only through distortion, it's not that powerful and it's not that metal. So we quickly changed to imitating distortion by voice only. And yeah, what distortion does is adding lots of harmonics to the sound and making it very wide. So you have this. We're always talking about fat rhythm guitar tracks, and that's exactly what distortion does. It's fattening the sound. So when imitating this by voice, you have to have a very raspy voice and adding some crunch to your voice, perhaps like James Hetfield of Metallica does, only 1 or 2 octaves lower. So what I'm doing the lower rakataka vocals, the lower rhythm guitar vocals in Canto, and when I'm singing, it sounds like this. So yeah, as you can hear, I'm trying to add distortion by voice only, and of course it's not enough if only I would do it. We'd have one tone distorted, and that's not very powerful if you think of a real band having two guitars. So of course we are 5 singers, so everybody can sing a part. We'll come to that in a later workshop. And when recording albums, we're doubling the voices as well, as a normal guitarist would do, playing the rhythm guitar on the left track and playing it again on the right track. We are doubling our rhythm guitar voices and creating a wider sound. So I can show you what I did with this song, singing Rakataka vocals. Run dum 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 dum, run diggy dum 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 diggy run diggy dum 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 diggy run diggy dum 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 diggy run diggy dum 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 diggy mom 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 Alright, what I can say here is we have these two different drum parts. The 8th part with the Iron Maiden rhythm, as I call it, run diggy dun diggy dun diggy dun. And yeah, as I just showed, I'm trying to be very exact on the bass drum attacks. So I have this run and dun, this rhythmic patterns, singing exactly on the bass drum notes. And in the second part, the 16th part, because it's very difficult to sing lots of syllables in a short time, in Canto we decided to leave the 16th feeling to the bass drum and adding an 8th feeling by voices. And what we're doing here, we're singing something like mom 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 mom, and this sound is creating a very constant level with not very high peaks. In the first part, you always have a peak when singing or d. You have the run digga dun. Every dun is creating a very high peak, and when singing mom 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 mom, you have a very constant level, and so the rhythm guitar gets back a little bit, which actually in a regular band would happen the same way. If you think of a palm muted single note playing, it's not that attractive as a power chord Iron Maiden riffing. Yeah, nevertheless, as I said, this is not enough for creating a metal sound. We have a basic drum pattern now, and we have a one guitar track singing the keynotes, but there's lots of more to come, so I hope to see you next time. Run dum 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 dum, run diggy dum diggy dum diggy dum diggy dum diggy dum diggy